I think there's a lot to learn from last night's Thursday night game. As we get into the season, the schematic trends are starting to be revealed into what direction the NFL is going. Every year, there's a big trend that tends to kind of overtake strategy, whether it be on offense or defense. In my opinion, it usually goes back and forth. Last year, we had a big defensive trend change started by Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores. Usually, a blitz is categorized as rushing more than 4 players, 5 players. You can simulate blitzes, have 4 guys rush, drop out a defensive lineman, make it more complicated for protections. But what Flores did was if he was going to rush, he was going to rush 6 guys, right? So what that does is rather than having a one-on-one all the way across, you have one guy that is free or hot. If a free blitzer, unless you have a running back protecting, he's going to get a hit on the quarterback. And what happened is you saw the Vikings get involved in a lot of games where their pass rush and their blitzing ability completely took the offense that they were against out of the game. They saw multiple turnovers, they created havoc, and the game ended early on when they got a bunch of short fields for their offense and Sam Darnold converted. More and more teams are using that approach this year, and you've seen it early on really get after offenses as they try to figure out their early season chemistry and stuff like that with these new coordinators and new players. A little bit of rough math, but so far I count about 2 turnovers per game in the NFL in 2025. In 2024, 1.2 was the number. And of course, it's only been 2 weeks, so that trend probably will come back down to more what you would expect, closer to 1.5, 1.2 like last year. But early on, there's been a lot of turnovers, and these defenses are getting after teams. So what is the adjustment? The adjustment is against these 2 high shells with really aggressive blitz packages, you just never try to throw the ball downfield. You don't do 7-step drops. You don't even do 5-step drops. If you do play action, you have to be really confident that teams are biting on it. There was a time recently where it would work every single time. It doesn't really anymore because teams are being too aggressive up front. So that heat map I just showed that Josh Allen and the Bills are really working that short game, trying to get yak from their array of receivers. They have a lot of guys that are slot types who can get yards after the catch, get open quick, separate quick, and they're going to run the ball with their powerful rushing quarterback and their very good offensive line that has really changed the game for them and allowed James Cook to really thrive early on here. Miami, for the most part, is doing the same thing, except for they don't really have the pieces right now to do what Buffalo is able to and other offenses are able to take advantage of, like the Eagles, who can use their short passing attack and run game to take over games. Miami does have a run game and receivers that can separate really quickly, but their problem is their O-line. They've taken advantage of not being great in previous years because they can get the ball out quick to their quick separators. Tua is really good in rhythm, hitting his back foot, throwing the ball quickly, but the problem is when he doesn't have a guy to throw it to immediately. The difference between Tua and Josh Allen is when you get into a situation where someone isn't open, Allen can run, scramble, he's hard to take down because of his size, throw the ball away because he has a strong arm, or just try to create. Tua's inability and lack of athleticism to do so is hindering the Dolphins' offense and showing why rooting your offense in this short game almost entirely limits you if you don't have a quarterback who can do a little bit more.